And we are live. Yay.
Hooray!
But we're down a guy. So boo.
Yes.
But Spartan
Absolutely,
has
boo.
important things family wise that he's dealing with, and that's his own personal business, so I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, all I'm gonna
So,
say is that our thoughts are with him and his family, and that we hope things
yeah,
get as good as they can.
exactly. And,
Hooray!
whenever he needs us, we got his back. So, that's about the only
Absolutely.
other thing I'm going to add. So,
Yeah.
oh, wow. We've got people joining us already. We got Joe and
Hooray!
Lambo are with us. So,
Lambo. Yay!
yeah.
Greetings, boys.
Hello, hello.
Buh.
So, we were planning to talk about Operation Gold Standard.
Absolutely.
We've
And
done
some
a
other
pretty good
stuff.
job of well, we're going to start with Gold Standard and then progress. So, but no, we've done a pretty good job of plastering that everywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt that, I decided to, um, well, first off, my brain's not functioning today. It was my day off. How can you
What
tell?
else is new?
Tactical Supremacy Games has an Instagram account.
He
So if
does.
you guys have not followed it on Instagram, please go and do so. Um, Fingers crossed that kind of takes off very shortly here. Um, Operation Gold Standard. Let's see. I've plastered everything with it.
Yeah, me
And
too.
that's because, yeah, we are. Yes, he did remember to log in tonight. Um, we are 1 month away, I think, from us basically saying, okay, those of you who want to play the night games, let us know. Um,
Yeah,
because it's
we still
basically
got
going to be like a
figurines.
first come. We still have to figure everything
Yeah,
out, but it's basically going to be a first come, first serve. I think we're going to, what were we thinking? 100, 120 players?
I think we were thinking, yeah, about 120. Um,
120. Initially, it was 90, so
yeah,
we bumped it up to another 30 just to be on the
yeah,
safe side to allow for some switch outs.
yeah. And
Um,
I think,
and
yeah, part of that, because I've been rethinking the idea. I
mm,
think just having people rotating, so we can open it up to a few more people potentially. Because let's face it,
mm,
that's what every. How often do you get to play night games? And we've
absolutely.
got that opportunity. So I think if we can open it up and then just have basically the game playing in like rolling shifts.
Yeah,
It's something we need to talk about off air, but it's an idea that I'm willing to throw
absolutely.
out there. Um, oh, Pepper found the like button.
Oh, of course you did.
uh,
Trust
so,
Pepper.
yep. But
There really is, and a lot of people probably don't understand like something this big, the logistics involved with it.
oh my gosh,
This has been an idea for a year and a half,
thereabouts.
almost 2 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm hoping that most of the players who come to play the night portion are going to be mag fed just because I want them to keep the cost down for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, we are looking at other avenues and everything like that to obviously keep costs down for players. But right now, with all of the political grandstanding or BS that is going on, I'm not going
Political
to hold my breath
nonsense.
with anything
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, political nonsense.
That's the best way I can
Um,
put it.
yeah, absolutely. Um,
What?
Pepper broke his like button.
Oh. Well, now Banshee's on, so
Yeah, now
now
Banshee's on, so
give
the
her a
the
moment.
like and
There's going to
love
be the
party can
like war
happen.
again. I'm okay with that. But
It,
but yeah,
it's it's one of those situations where it's going to be very difficult for us right now to say what is or is not going to happen. Probably in April is what we're hoping.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Grizz, Spartan, and I will be heading up to Edmonton for
Yeah.
a field walk and a little bit of a powwow with the forces that be in
Yep.
Edmonton. Um,
There we go. Now Banshee
and
found it.
yeah, Banshee found it. And from there, we're really just gonna start throwing everything into fast gear, into high gear.
Yeah.
The night play portion, we're gonna give ourselves about a month, the month of February, to figure that out, and then we'll have registration open for that probably from March through to May.
Oh,
Um,
Ragnar just logged on. Hi, Ragnar.
oh, cool. Hey, Ragnar. Good to have you, buddy. Once registration is closed, and depending on how we do this, because we want our night players to be really committed to this, so we are probably going to ask for some fundraising on their part.
Nothing too ridiculous.
Yeah, nothing too ridiculous. It's not like we're gonna say, "Hey, you need to have $1,000." No, we're probably gonna say, "Hey, if you can, please try and raise, like 200, $250. Nothing too serious, and it
Fundraising
will,
of any kind, I think, will help out.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Like our main goal, and yeah, it'd be great if we break the world record. That's an added bonus. But our main goal is to raise funds for Soldier On,
yeah.
because all of us in the sport know someone who has fought for Canada or for the U.S. Um, or for their respective country. Every one of us knows someone is a first responder,
Well,
and
and
it's not
especially if
just
you're into the
military.
milsim or the mag-fed style of play, you know, you go
Exactly,
to
and it's
any
it's not
big
just.
scenario event and there's going to be vets there. So,
Absolutely. Like we know an awesome vet personally, and he's one of our sponsors. And I could never do what he did. I know I couldn't. And the
I need
fact
to
that
interject for a second.
yes.
Joe's comment. Um, Joe,
Oh
it's
God, Joe.
paintball. How is it any different? It's a bunch of guys playing with their balls. So, you know, it ain't gonna be any different, Joe.
Oh my God. Yeah, Joe, you can't be shy. Come on.
Yeah.
You should know better by now. Oh my God. Yeah, what is Legion's hazing ritual? I'm curious now.
I'm not sure I want to know. Maybe you have to watch Pepper's old movies. Um,
Oh my God. That's not hazing, that's just torture. That's what happens if you leave Legion.
yeah. So,
Speaking of Pepper, I quickly have to segue into this. Pepper, congratulations on finally getting your hands on a proper tactical banana.
that thing
That
is scary.
clip looks absolutely awesome.
I'm not. Is that thing paintball or is that thing real steel?
I want to say it's paintball. We haven't touched on the politics yet, Ben, so don't worry. Um, we're basically right now covering gold standard and the fun that we
Yeah,
were
save the
having in
politics till
organizing
the
it.
end. You don't want to
Yeah, we'll
chase
save
people off at the
the
beginning of the show.
absolutely, absolutely. I have
So,
a feeling that politics is going to really impact the sport this year. That's all I'll say for now.
yeah, we'll get to that.
Again, we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah,
Oh my
but
goodness.
no. So Operation Gold Standard is basically our way of giving back to people that have been willing to give everything.
Absolutely.
It's the best way I could
Um,
think to put it, and I've put it in writing everywhere. Um,
yeah. Our
so,
our goal is to help support those fighting PTSD.
yeah,
Our goal is to help them win that battle. And I mean, the support that we're already getting from the Canadian forces, Um, it's overwhelming already.
Yeah.
Um, I've got members from the military actually reaching out to me now, um,
Awesome.
who are seeing the hashtags that I've got going up on Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, thank you." Um, I haven't had anyone, come out and repost it yet, but it's only a matter of time. But
Oh yeah.
if you have Instagram, please go and follow Soldier On Canada. Um, and the Canadian Forces. I literally went and spammed, uh, like, not spammed, but liked about 200 or 300 photos from 6 different profiles on Instagram just to try and show some support in any way that I can. So, yeah, just out of curiosity, all of you guys who are watching, who is interested in playing night game for
I'm
lots of
just interested in
nights?
who's, interested in coming out to the game, period. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
oh, hey,
not
hi,
about
Holly.
teams. We are not doing this, SAS versus everybody else or anything like that. Absolutely not. This is about the paintball industry coming together and basically saying, let's do this.
Yeah. It's like any other charity game. There may be Team A versus Team B or however you want to, split that. But at the end of a charity event, the winner is the charity and the people that the charity gets to help because, additional funding opens up additional resources, you know, and just allows them to help that many more people that they might not have been able to otherwise. So, you know, that's why, you know, I think the charity combined with, a world record attempt, you know, it's that world record attempt that is going to draw out that many more players, to be a part of something like that, to be able to say, I was there when that happened. You know, to me, that's the big draw. And then the fact that for every person that shows up, that's funding for Soldier On to help somebody.
Absolutely. Our Everyone who participates in this is basically going to be a winner. And if I could, I would honestly give everyone, like, I will hug you all at the end of it. I have a goal in mind that I would love to reach. If we hit that, perfect. If not, you know what? We tried. And if this helps us start something new in the sport, um, if it helps us bring new life to the sport, new ways people are looking at it, then another goal is met. Like and Ben put this perfectly. Having all the teams in the area come together and just promote it, grow the sport, work together towards something. Um, yes, I do smell when I play, Ben, and yeah, Pepper, I'll give you a free hug.
Well, see,
None for Joe though, because he says it's too far.
yeah, see, the hug thing. This brings up another thought in my head, which just shows how the train
Uh
of thought derails quite quickly. Um,
oh.
End of the event, you were saying, you'll hug everybody. I wonder if we can set another world record for the world's largest group hug.
Oh, now we're getting into dangerous territory because that could go any way.
Everybody mind your hands.
Absolutely. Mind your hands. Um,
uh,
and we definitely don't want to do what another team um, did to me as a thank you for something.
did,
Yay!
did they not mind their hands?
Well, you remember your old team.
Well, we ain't going there.
No, no, I don't want to be part of a hump circle again. We'll put it that way.
Well, it's paintball, it may
It is
happen.
paintball. Well, Joe, I don't mind the hands as long as you just keep them away from one area.
That's exactly where they're going, right?
Oh, exactly. Especially from Joe. What a shady person. Um, right now, we are in the middle of just figuring out who we are going to approach for support, so sponsors. And we're
Working on
not looking
sponsors,
for
but
just,
yeah,
yeah, we're not looking for just cash donations or paint donations or this or that. We're basically saying, hey, anything you're willing to give is going to help us. So we do have a list that we would like to. Um,
oh, it's always great seeing the lag, where we make a comment and then 5 seconds later you look over and then there's a comment about it.
or 20 seconds. Joe's a little slow tonight.
Yeah,
um,
I like Serena's
yeah,
comment
I'm
too.
okay with the butt grab. I don't mind. um, if you can think of someone and message us, let us know, and we'll add it to our list if not already on there.
Yeah,
Um,
either on the Facebook page for Western Canada, us doing this now, or even over at Tactical Supremacy Games, it's still us. It's just two names
yeah,
for the same group of yahoos.
absolutely. We really we've got two pages already, and there will be a third once we get J-Tac Western Canada Forward Operations Base up and running,
Yeah, we got to get
whatever
that
we're gonna
working.
call it. Yeah,
We need to
we got to
start
figure out
thinking
a
of
name
shorter
for it too.
names. We need shorter names. We come up with the longest names ever.
Well, hey, we have awesome abbreviations like TSG.
WCPA makes us sound like accountants. I did not think of that till Jester mentioned it as shooting for a cause. I ain't doing
Hey,
anybody's
you know what?
taxes, and
People
trust
trust
me, they don't.
accountants. People trust accountants
No,
to an
they
extent.
don't.
Hey, they should trust us.
Well, fingers
We won't
crossed.
cheat, I swear.
Um,
Does anyone have any questions right now in pertaining to gold standard? Because I am willing to answer some questions if I have the information for you.
yeah, if
Like
it's
I said,
something
right
we've
now we're still
already
in the planning
been working
stage.
on, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's just it. As more information becomes available while we work on everything, it's going to be going up on the Facebook event page. So we'll keep that
absolutely,
up and running. So
absolutely. Right now, if you guys have not done so, go over and like Tactical Supremacy Games, share Tactical Supremacy Games, invite your paintball buddies, invite your friends to Operation Gold Standard. I think right
or
now we're
even just
sitting at
share the
about,
event. I'd appreciate that.
absolutely.
If
I
nothing
think we're
else.
sitting about 250 invites.
Yeah, there's been a good
Um,
number of invites gone out. About
yeah,
62 people have responded one way or the other, with I
yeah,
think only one person has said no.
yeah, because
And
he's going to be at Iron Maiden. I can't
yeah,
really
yeah,
say no to that.
yeah, you know. Uh, Pepper's asking if there's going to be open
Pepper,
class.
any style of paintball you want to play. We are not putting a limit on markers. We're not putting a limit on how much paint you're bringing because we are putting this on the shoulders. Like we're piggybacking off of um, Young Gun Paintball. So I'm answering Joe's
I was going to
question at
see
the same
that
time.
answers Joe's question nicely too.
Yeah, it answers
Um,
Joe's questions. We're piggybacking off of Young Gun Paintball's Tipman
Tipman
Challenge, which
challenge,
is September long.
which should be
So
August
August
31st, September 1st,
31st,
September
September
2nd.
1st, and 2nd.
Yeah,
And basically, we are hoping to start the game at 10 a.m. Saturday morning and finish up at 10 a.m. Monday morning.
yeah.
Hoping.
And so
But we're only
for
going to go as long as people are willing to play. We're not going to say, hey, you have to play the whole 48
can't
hours.
force
That is
somebody
not
to
our
play
goal.
anyway. Um,
Absolutely.
Ben does bring up a good point. That is a month after
It is
shooting
a
for a
month after
cause.
shooting for a cause.
So
Unfortunately, we don't really have any other choice.
yeah, we did try to stretch it out so that we weren't right on top of shooting for a cause. Because don't get us wrong, we do still love shooting for a cause and everything that Rick and Capture the Flag are doing there. In fact, I think
Absolutely.
the plan currently is for the three of us are going to be there. So,
Yeah, the three of us will be at Shooting for a Cause as
yeah,
well. Um, so
yeah,
don't misread what we're doing here. We're not trying to replace Shooting for a Cause. This right now is a one-off.
yeah,
If this works perfectly, then we might consider, talking to Young Guns about maybe adding it as like a one-night event,
yeah.
on top of their Tipman challenge. I will not. After this event is done, I'm going to be taking a year or two off of planning super big games.
Yeah,
My brain is fried already.
oh yeah, trust me, I know. Um, so yeah, we're not looking to compete with Shooting for a Cause in any way. It's just this all started from the world record idea. In fact, this idea is part of what got the three of us, Predator, Spartan, myself, talking on a fairly regular basis to the point where it turned into this. Um,
Yeah,
so, I simply shot out the idea saying, hey, have you guys ever considered this? We started doing a little bit of research. Um, I found an article, I think it was a CBC article, um, that the record at the time was about 26 hours and held by another Canadian field. So, go Canada. And it was a field in
absolutely.
BC. So, Western Canada. Um, I ended up phoning them, asking them a few questions. They told me that apparently they had lost the title of the longest game. Somebody else had beat them, but I can't remember the time length, and I can't find anything online to collaborate. All of a sudden, I can't talk. I can't find anything
Collaborate.
online. That's the word. Um, can't find anything that says one way or the other what the record is.
Yeah.
Everything I
Now,
find simply says 24 hours.
keep in mind, everything that has been done up to date has been played indoors.
Yes, it's
So
all
this
been
is
indoors and much smaller field with much fewer players.
this is why, and Ben, you can probably attest to this. You know the full size of Young Guns. I'm running off of the maps that I have printed off about their fields. You can imagine the logistics of trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to squish all these players into a smaller field space so that safety is number one. Safety is always going to be number one priority with this event,
Yeah,
especially during the night play. We are going to be having ways to make sure that people know where people are, um, just because
that's the
it's only
trade-off.
the safe thing to do. That is the trade-off. If you have night vision goggles, feel free to bring them,
I
but
don't
you're
know that
still
I
going to
would
be
want to
wearing
risk
something.
those.
Yeah, well, like I said, feel free to bring them if you got them. I
If
mean,
you're
two
willing.
grand or however much, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest concern is, should first responders be needed on the field? How are we going to make sure that they get in, get out safely without people lighting them up? It will be a vehicle of some sorts. There will be lots of lights. That
Yeah.
is why I am being like super, super worried. Not worried, but um, anal, I guess you could say, when saying when this is a work in progress, it really is a work in
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah, there's
Um,
definitely a lot of terrain in front of us that we have yet to figure out how to traverse. So, if
and
the
Ben,
information
I
at this
think
stage is not very forthcoming, it's just because we haven't figured that part out yet.
we are going to do everything we can to make this an event for you guys to remember. Um, we want this, and we're not trying to take away from the glory of the Titman Challenge in any way, shape, or form. We're doing this with the Titman Challenge.
Yeah.
Um, we are going to be making sure that this is an event that is talked about for years to come and really shows that Western Canada is at the forefront of planning events that go above and beyond what you would expect. That is the whole goal of tactical supremacy games. And I think with everyone's assistance, we can definitely do that.
Hmm. So, yeah, it's definitely all about, you know, making people stand up and take note that, you know, Western Canada is here. Western Canada Paintball is, you know, giving back, not just, sitting around saying,
And I'm not
look at us,
saying
as, the little brothers
exactly.
and sisters over on this end of the country, because all the big events are out east. So
And I'm
let's
not
make
saying
them
that the
take.
big events out east are inferior to us
Oh,
in any way, shape, or form.
by no
That's
means.
that's where
Paintball
we're
is
getting
paintball.
our inspiration. Absolutely. We're grabbing our inspiration. I mean, out east in the States, doing charity events all the time. And, we have one charity event out here, which is absolutely incredible, going into its sixth year. I love it,
Which is impressive.
but very impressive. I love that
From
fact.
other charity stuff that I've been involved with. Um, so I, participated in the Calgary Underwear Affair when that was a thing still. And, they phoned me up just a few years ago to say, hey, we see you've been a part of this for the last couple years. Just wanted to let you know, we're hitting kind of year number 8, which is where most charities die. you know.
Hmm.
So, the fact that at year 6, a paintball charity event that
It's
doesn't
still
have
growing.
it's still growing, and it doesn't have, the media push that something like the Underwear Affair had. Because the Underwear Affair, you've got, it's all over TV, it's on the radio, it's, in the newspapers or on the, whatever. You know, you can't drive past a bus stop without seeing it being advertised. Shooting for a cause has managed to keep growing when the only real media attention it gets is a day or two after when it hits the newspaper, or
If it even hits the newspaper, it's
it
the
hits the
attention that
Cochrane
you guys, the
newspaper.
players, do.
But
Well,
yeah,
it hits the Cochrane newspaper because it's the biggest event in Cochrane every year.
yeah,
But I mean, like it's the players that advertise it. It's the players that make it
exactly.
what it is. Like last year was incredible. I'm really looking forward to this year's event.
Yeah,
Um, and fingers crossed with the way everyone is working together. Um, it'll just grow even more. That's what I want to see.
yeah. So, all this talk about what we're trying to do with Operation Gold Standard, um, kind of leads into, we keep saying that we don't have a lot of information because we're still working on that part. So,
Yeah.
one of the other topics we wanted to touch on tonight is what goes into planning these big events. Because it's a lot more work than I realized when I simply said in a chat, hey, do you guys want to try for a world record? I'm thinking I should have kept my mouth
Yeah.
shut.
You and me both.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have actually gone and said, "Hey, by the way, we're a group of paintball players who want to raise funds for this.
yeah. Oh,
Help.
man.
Can we do it? Will you let us do it?" And basically, we were told, "Yeah, by all means, you have full permission. Use the logos. Do what you are going to do." And I'm sitting here going, "Shit."
And yeah, now we're doing this. So
And help.
it's that moment of going from, hey, this is a really cool idea, to, oh my gosh, we're actually doing this. It's kind of daunting.
Yeah, that's the
So, but
it is daunting, especially considering we have to try and figure out, um, 24 hours of night play essentially, and how we're going to keep the
yeah,
game flowing. And it's just like, okay, do we do this? Well, if we do this, we have to do this, but we can't do that, so we have to do this. Well, if we do that, I was like, it really does make our minds hurt.
yeah.
Um,
So, like,
so
the number
I'm
one
putting out
thing
a
we've kind
call.
of hit. Sorry?
I'm putting out a call. Be patient with us, please.
Pretty please?
If the end of February comes and we do not have more information for you guys, that is because we're trying to release as much as possible. Um, there is so much to plan. Like we need first responders apart from those who are going to be playing, who have first aid. Um, we need to make sure that there is places for night players to rest and relax. We need to make sure that there's going to be hydration. We need to make sure that there's going to be adequate lighting in areas. We need to make sure that permits are in place. Like there is so much to go on about, and it's one of these things where if you guys have ideas, come forward with them, please. But also be respectful of the fact that we're not doing this to make money. So don't go, well, they just want to make money off of this. We're making nothing
Nope,
from
I'm
this.
not taking
This is
home
all our
anything.
own time. And I can safely say I've already put probably about 100 hours into this.
Yeah, there's been some insane amount of time. I'm actually sitting at my
Yeah.
no, like my real job, because sure, that's what I'm gonna call that right now. Um, when I'm sitting at work, I'm thinking about, okay, how do I do the next thing for Gold Standard, or you know, this
Yeah.
wonderful little picture that I've got posted underneath me and beside him. I did that at work. Shh, don't tell my boss. Um, but
Like
this is
when
what
I'm at work,
occupies it. I'm pretty sure Banshee wants me to shut the hell up about it sometimes.
yeah, I'm pretty sure too. Like, um, unfortunately or fortunately for me, I don't know which way I look at it. Sarah doesn't have too big of a part in planning, or not in planning, but really going with the paintball stuff. I would love for her to come out and play, and she said she will, just when she's ready. Um,
Yeah,
but right now
no
it's
rush.
like I'll get to work 10 minutes early and I will sit in my car for 8 minutes and jot down ideas. Or
Yeah,
on my half-hour lunch break, I'm not eating because I'm thinking and I'm planning.
yeah.
And even when I'm, like putting product away, my brain is still ticking. This
I've got
is,
this thing in my hand, and I've been putting everything into Google Drives, and
I hear you. I got
yeah.
this thing in my hand, or
So
I've got this.
very
This
nice.
is my book. This is my book where I jot down all my ideas, and then I've got another binder that has like 600 more pages worth of stuff. One thing that we are trying to plan, and just to let you guys know, if this piques your interest a little bit more or not, is we are trying to plan a pig roast for the last day of the event. So just a
Yeah,
little heads up, like this is what we are planning. We're not planning, chips and hot dogs for you guys. We
you
are
just read Pepper's
planning.
comment, didn't you?
I was saying it just as I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
We are trying to maybe plan chili or pasta or
Or possibly
something that is.
reaching out, as part of the sponsorship. I've got a couple of people I want to try reaching out to that might cater the event. Um, yes, exactly who you're thinking there, Predator. Um, I I'm
Yummy.
also interested in trying to hit up food trucks, seeing if they're willing
Yeah.
to, you know, add us to part of their route for the weekend. You know,
One thing we should try and state though is that we're trying to do food that is going to carry players on for a large,
yes.
large portion of the day. We're not thinking fast food. We're not thinking,
No.
empty calories
Nothing
or
that's gonna
really
sit in
super
your
heavy,
gut and make
greasy
you feel
stuff.
heavy. So,
Yeah, that's like chili. Yes, eat it, sit down for a little bit, let it digest, but it's going to keep you going for hours
yeah, you don't
because
want to
it's
be running
hearty.
with spicy chili in your guts though. That's just chemical
No.
warfare. Pepper wants a taco truck.
If you want a taco truck, Pepper, you do that.
Ragnar wants a
Poutine.
poutine.
I
Oh
want a
god,
poutine truck.
that'd be kind of
Yes.
awesome. Canadian
That'd be
event,
wicked.
Canadian food. I'm down with that.
There you go.
So,
Me too.
um,
So
one
yes,
other
just
thing I want to comment, just because it has been brought forward, and you know, I don't disagree with the idea, but we're going to try going a different direction. Um, People have approached asking us if we're going to be reaching out to the paintball
Yes,
celebrities.
pros.
Yeah, I got nothing against the paintball celebrities out there. You know, they do their thing, they do it well. That's why people watch them. That's why they are celebrities. I'm trying to go a different direction. The guys kind of agree with me on this. Um, but we don't want to make this event about the celebrities. We want this event to be about every individual player that shows up, that gives their time and their money back to the charity. We want this to be first and foremost about giving to the charity. You know, if anybody, the celebrities I want to see is if we can reach out to some, some real vets and have them come out and play with us. I'd be down for that.
Absolutely.
You know, having, the men and women that, you know, have been assisted by Soldier On and the resources available. Um, those are the people that I want to see come out, that I want to hear from.
Absolutely.
So,
I want to see. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, I'm not trying to shun or push away the paintball celebrities. If they want to come out, they want to play, by all means, come be one of us. Come be, you know, the average Joe Blow player again. You want to get some footage for your videos? Get footage for your videos. Um, you do you, but this event is not about you. That's my rant.
No, this is not a celebrity-driven event by any way, by any means. Our celebrities are going to be the Canadian Armed Forces who show up, the vets who show up. Those are our celebrities, and obviously the other players who show up and want to support this event. Like if we get PPCLI, Van Dues, anyone who's currently serving or has served in the military, they're going to be on my pedestal for the day. They're the reason why we're doing this. They do something
Exactly.
for us that we don't have the will to do. Not everyone is made to be in the military. Not everyone can drop what they're doing with their family and go overseas for 9 months, 10 months, 12 months. Um, I was reading a story about a female member of the armed forces who has been helped by Soldier On. She did 2 tours in Afghanistan. I can't even think about that. I don't know how I would react to it. Not everyone can do it. Um, Absolutely, Ben. That'd be awesome. I would love to see some Van Dues there, or even hear from some Van Dues about it. Like, if you know anyone who serves in the military or has served, reach out to them and say, "Hey, this is what is happening. Would you be willing to, maybe do a video to describe how PTSD has affected their life or someone they know, or if they have been in touch or involved with Soldier On, how Soldier On has helped them?" Because I would really love to do maybe a book full of letters or a video montage.
Throwing the videos up on to the event page, you know, we'd love to
Exactly.
show, like, I don't want to hear the nitty gritties behind what caused it. That's their
Yeah,
private, if they don't want to talk about
absolutely.
that, we ain't asking. Um, but, if somebody's willing to say, you know, I've touched base with Soldier On. These are the resources they put out in front of me. This is how they've assisted us or assisted me or,
Hmm.
whatever. You know, that's the story we want to get out there. That's, what we want to push forward. Um,
Absolutely. We basically want everyone to know why Soldier On should be supported. And I don't know a lot of people who know about Soldier On,
yeah.
outside of those who have contact with the military or were in the military. So
Hi, Sarah. I keep seeing your little sideways glances and the smirk. All right. You are not sneaky. Don't ever get into professional
I
poker.
know. Why do you think I don't play poker, period? I can't
Yeah.
win.
All right. So
So
I think
that
we've
is
covered.
our blurb on
Yeah.
Operation Gold Standard.
Yeah.
Now into the fun slash not
Yeah.
so fun,
All
how you
right.
want to look at it, politics
Here's
that
the
has
nitty-gritties, people.
popped up. Yeah.
And we don't normally do politics stuff. So
No, but
that
this
just
is
shows you.
something very unique. This is very unique. Not too
Yes.
sure who all is aware. Most likely all of you are. Last week, I believe it was,
Thereabouts.
someone came out and called out the NXL for how much or little they are paying out to the players who win first, second, and third place in their division.
They were also
That
kind
said,
of blasting them on the facilities in place and the quality thereof.
they literally called them out and raked them over the coals
They kind of blasted
in
them.
a very um, very public format. I don't know how to respond to Pepper's
No,
question.
no. I'm just gonna ignore Pepper right now.
Yeah, sorry, Pepper, we're ignoring you right now.
Yeah.
Um, the person who came out and said this, and if you guys know who it is, feel free to post the name. I don't know if it was Damien or Ryan or not. I'm not saying any names because I
Just
think this was. Yeah, I don't know if that was him. There you go. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
The person who called them out on Facebook got fired in a very public
On
manner,
Facebook.
and now there's on Facebook, and now there's a huge outcry. Um, a poll was posted yesterday or the day before, I believe, asking for players or asking players' opinions on trying to start a players' union.
Yeah.
This is where it gets into a very slippery slope because unions can be used to help grow things and make it better, or unions can destroy things. This is why some industries have unions and some don't.
Yeah.
The biggest hurdle that needs to be probably jumped right now is the fact that this is very polarizing and it's the off season where everyone is basically looking for information on NXL and they found it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm kind of for a players union in the fact that if it can help bring um, unity to the sport, great. If it's being created to basically say, hey, you're not paying us enough to be professional paintball players. Um, this isn't hockey. This sure as hell isn't football. We don't have $1 billion companies sponsoring events. We don't
Right.
have Coke. We don't have Monster. We don't have Nike or Adidas or Reebok. We have the paintball companies and the paintball industry. It's expensive. I understand, but at the same time, you know how much you're gonna get out if you win, so you don't have to support the NXL. You don't have to play the NXL. There are other options available to you, and if you're unhappy with the way the field is looking, offer to do something to help. Offer to
Or
go in there and help set up, or offer to there's so many different options available.
it's paintball. If you want, start
It
your own
is
league.
absolutely.
That's how all of this got started. Like, I'm sorry. I am of the opinion that, this is paintball. This started out as, paintball markers were originally used for marking cattle, and one cowboy turned around and looked at the other and shot him.
Was it cattle or trees? I heard it was trees somewhere, but who knows?
It was, I think
They're
it's an
just
Aussie
marking
thing.
guns. That's all they were.
Yeah, it was an Aussie thing. They were used for marking cattle when you're going through, knowing which one you need to cut out of the herd. And
Oh,
one cowboy, let's face it, cowboys, I can vouch. My dad is one. Um, you put something, non-lethal into their hand that they can shoot, they're gonna shoot each other. That's how this all works. So,
So essentially,
something
we're all
that started
cowboys at
out
heart.
as guys goofing off, you know, and then let's face it, unless you are diehard enough that you're tuning in and watching us, you know, it's a hobby for most people. The,
Absolutely.
you know, the rest of the normal world views what we all consider a sport as a hobby that you do on weekends or for team building. And then there's us group of yahoos that take it to the limit and make it a sport, whether that is your speedball, your mill sim, your woods ball, whatever you want to call it. We all turn our genre of it, paintballs and lumberjacks, yes, um,
Yep.
cowboys and
Cowboys
lumberjacks,
and lumberjacks.
yeah. But we take it to that extreme of making it a sport. You know, having events like shooting for a cause and Operation Gold Standard out here, Juno Beach, and then getting into the league stuff, that's what makes it into a sport. So the fact that politics play such a big role, and I know they do in everything, but the fact that there is such strong politics in what most people would consider a hobby, like, I'm sorry, but I have never once heard about politics in competitive knitting. Just saying. You laugh, but let's face it, people on the
Well,
outside that listen to us go off about the politics in this, that's exactly what they're thinking.
they're also probably thinking that it's not a legitimate sport until it's been in the Olympics or been considered. And everyone keeps going, why isn't paintball the Olympics? Why will it not be in the Olympics?
It has
There's
been
one
considered.
really main reason. No, the idea of Team USA shooting Team Russia.
Oh yeah, that's an
I'm
international incident waiting
sorry,
to happen.
that is World War III waiting to happen right there. Like
Yeah,
it's sheer stupidity. And unfortunately, and Ben is right, there is politics in everything.
there is.
There really is. As soon as there are big million or billion-dollar companies involved, there's politics.
You can't get
Um,
around it.
the biggest issue for paintball is there's no international governing body and there's no national governing body.
See,
Alberta has the CPPL, the Canadian Professional Paintball League, yet it only brings in teams from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and maybe the occasional one from Manitoba. I'm
yeah,
sorry, it is not the Canadian National or
no,
Canadian
it's
Professional Paintball
Western
League
Canada,
because it's not
but I'm okay with that.
nationwide. I'm okay with having the CPPL because honestly, it is doing something great for the sport. It's thriving, it's got a lot of teams involved, and it's played on amazing fields with amazing players, great sponsors, and good ownership and management. The issue is that down in the States, there's a collegiate paintball league. Colleges have teams. So in
That's
the
kind of cool.
US, it is considered a sport. In Canada, it's considered a hobby. In Australia, it's still considered a hobby where you need to have a gun license in most
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
states.
down there it's barely considered legal.
There are two leagues, two leagues in Australia,
Hmm.
and I follow both of them, and I follow three of the 12 or 15 teams that I know of. It is slowly starting to grow, which is great. Um, Paintball down in South America is mostly bushball.
Yeah.
They have the occasional professional division or team. Paintball is not at a point where it will ever be considered an Olympic sport because it cannot be played without causing a lot of issues. That and the fact that it's electronic markers and electronic hoppers. The only way you'd be able to get into the Olympics is if it's all mechanical. So you'd be reverting to pump pretty much. And I don't know how many people would pay to watch that, so it will never be an Olympic sport.
I don't know.
I know
I've
that.
seen some pump players that you'd swear they were using speedball markers,
Oh, absolutely, but
but
there's not
that's
that
neither
many of
here
them.
nor there for this conversation.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there
But,
for this conversation.
you
My
know,
issue is the politics should remain behind closed doors.
they should, but they're not going to because they never do. But
Absolutely. I mean, we have Facebook. We have one of the most public platforms in the world.
Facebook,
But the way that
Instagram, Reddit, social media in general, it's
absolutely.
gonna flood you. But, this whole idea of, starting a players union is only going to benefit the big league players.
Yeah, it's
Guys
not
like
going to
you and
benefit the
I,
small fields.
yeah, guys like you and I, and, the folks in their comment section tonight, you know, are probably not going to see the benefit or deficit of a players union. You know,
That's very
it,
true.
and
Really, if there is a sorry.
no, it's all good. You know, so like any kind of trickle down that would come out of it, most people aren't going to like because to be a part of a union, you have to pay dues. So even if it was the fields that had to be members, because that's usually how things go in our sport, is that the field has to have the insurance and everything else, right? So if the field is having to pay union dues, our fees are going up to go out and play, every other weekend or whatever it is. So you do something like that, well, I used to be able to go and play for 35 bucks for the day. Now it's going to cost me 50 to 60 bucks to go out and play for a day. I don't really want to go play that much. And you're going to see it's going to push the sport more towards extinction. And the only people left playing it are going to be the outlaw ball players, which if I had the space, I'd go do that. And the other the other people would be the pros. That's going to be all that's about left. It's going to put
Yeah, that's
most
it.
small fields out of business.
And
That's my
unfortunately, with
opinion.
price increases, we've already seen fields go under. In Western Canada alone, I think we've seen 5 or 6 fields drop in the last 2 years. And I mean, granted, a lot of the fields that we have in Western Canada are
Keep going.
um, a lot of the fields that we have are small fields. They're family run and operated. They're not making much money. So as soon as they say, oh, well, we have to increase in order to break even, no one is going to come out and play. And
No,
just to comment on what I was reading on, Ben is absolutely right.
exactly.
There is no, there really is no big difference between the different styles of play. It's all paintball. And that's what people have to figure out. I've seen so many comments this week about bashing MagFed players. So what? We don't buy a full case of paint every time we go out. It's our style of play. We're still out there paintballing. We're still out there supporting fields. We're still out there supporting the companies because we do purchase equipment. We do purchase paint. MagFed players tend to purchase more first strike rounds than anything else. Who
Those
makes
things
first
are
strike rounds?
pricey.
First
Oh
strike
my
paintball.
gosh.
They are expensive. I'm sorry, like as a MagFed player, if I'm shooting first strike rounds, I'm spending almost the same amount of money on paint as a speedballer who's buying 2 cases of paint for the day, and
Well,
I'm getting maybe 200 rounds.
yeah. When we went to Winter's Hunt, I split a case of a 200 box of first strikes with Magic, and that was 140 bucks for 200. Considering, yeah, that's 2 cases of 2,000 of round ball. So yeah, we might not buy as many, but we're still dropping the cash. I've found the guns that I used to use, or sorry, the markers that I used to use when I played more of a speedball style didn't cost nearly as much as what my mag-fed markers do. So, I don't know if you found the same, Predator.
Oh yeah.
So,
Um,
I think my first marker cost under $100, maybe just over.
well, hell,
My,
my first marker
yeah,
was a Spider VS1, and that was bought from Walmart for what, $85?
yeah. See, and I had the Spider Imagine, which I think was probably about 85, maybe $100.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
and now my
Titman Phenom, X7 Phenom, was at 350 when I bought it, and then I converted the hell out of that thing.
yeah, it's like an
It's,
$800 marker.
if not more, I'm pretty sure I put more
Yeah,
into it.
because you've got all the megs too, right?
Yeah,
Like
mags are
a
not
lot of
cheap.
people are like, oh, well, you guys don't spend that much. Well, I'm sorry. My marker was $600 for one meg, and then every meg after that is $40, and I've got eight of them.
Yeah, I've got 9.
There's another 320. I've got $1,000 worth of gear that I carry on the field with me. Yes, I understand it is not as much as an LV1 from Eclipse, which I believe is running around $2,300. But at the same time, there's no electronics in it. We don't play competitive style. We are out there for fun, but we're still playing paintball.
Exactly. So, I don't care how you spend your money, it's your money. You want to play MagFed, play MagFed. You want to play limited ammo, play limited ammo. Pump, speedball, whatever. That's what I love about the scenarios out here. Every
We're all
single type of
inclusive.
marker is out there. I've seen everything
Absolutely.
from, limited ammo pump, like Hammer 7s, to SAR 12s, on the same field at the same time. You
And
know,
every speedball gun in between. I've
you know,
seen Luxes. I've seen
exactly.
every frickin' Eclipse marker under the sun.
Yeah.
What I want you guys to do is I'm going to give you guys some homework. And I know
Since
your
when do
guys
we
are going
give
to
homework?
groan. I want to give them homework because I want them to come up with one reason why they love paintball apart from shooting people.
Oh, well, I'm out.
I want to know why you guys love the sport so much and why you play the style of play or the style that you play. That's what I want. And then just post it onto our Western Canada page, and I will reach out to everyone and just thank you for your comments, and then I'll pick a couple to read out on the next podcast because I want to show that it doesn't matter what style of paintball you play. We all play paintball. We all play the same sport, just a different style,
No.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah. And when we started this whole podcast idea, what, almost 2 years ago now, the
Yep.
whole idea was, amidst all the negativity that you find on social media in regards to the sport and you know, my version's better than your version, we trying to be somewhat positive and, you know, put our own spin on it. So, come up with something positive. Why do you play this?
Absolutely. And I'm seeing so many already being posted, and Banshee's being stubborn like always. So I don't care if you graduated, you have homework.
Yeah, she graduated on crutches, remember?
Quit bringing that up. It was not my fault she put her foot where she did. There she goes. Paintball introduced her to her hobby.
Lucky man.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and germs, it is 10 o'clock. We have hit our 1 hour mark.
We
Thank
have.
you very much for sticking with us tonight. We kind of went from something awesome to something not so fun to talk about, but thank you very much. And Ragnar, your opinions definitely, or your comments have been awesome to read. A lot of thought provoking ones by everyone. Great to see you all on, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and can't wait to see you guys all on the field.
Absolutely.